Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go.
Welcome to Disabled Podcast, where I talk about music, sports, and culture. I'm your host, Eli. Co-host, my dad is back in the building.
Dad is back in the building.
Clap that up.
Yep. Filling in for Fredy.
Who is in Colombia.
Yes.
Doing some baseball stuff. Shout out to Fredy.
Shout outs to Fredy. You guys are doing an amazing job, but I will fill in to the best of my ability.
As always.
As always.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was great, man. You know what I'm saying? Just excited about basketball season starting to finally get into.
We have the mid-season tournament.
And see, now that I'm thinking, Eli, this mid-season tournament is right on time.
Right.
To kind of really start the NBA season.
And so we don't have those 2 months of like
mediocre
basketball. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then we're halfway done with the NFL season. We're going into week 11.
Yes,
It's almost over. It's crazy because we missed it when it was gone, and now
absolutely
we got another couple more weeks left, and then it's on to January and February.
And this thing is done. So other than that, super excited.
Yes.
About sports and things that are going on.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
First game we had was the Lions and the Texans. I wrote this down because it was a weird game.
Yes.
For Jared Goff. He had only 2 touchdowns, combined 7 turnovers because C.J. Stroud threw for 3 interceptions, and then I believe Goff threw for 4 or 5.
He threw 5 interceptions.
And they won the game.
Yes.
They had a stat where they said Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdowns and lost, and Goff threw for 5 interceptions and won. This is an anomaly for the Lions. It probably won't ever happen again.
Yes.
Does that make you more worried? Well, first of all, talking about the Lions. Congratulations on their win.
Yep.
A win is a win no matter how you get it.
That's right.
But does this make you concerned for the Lions about how Goff's performance was? Or was it just an anomaly?
I'm gonna say it was an anomaly of sorts because what are the odds?
Right.
That's what we mean when we say an anomaly. What are the odds that a quarterback who was having an MVP type season
right,
would throw for 5 interceptions and they would still win the game? So for Detroit, remember, our motto here, you got to be good, healthy, and lucky.
Right.
And so certain things take place which give you opportunities. They've stayed close enough. And give their defense credit.
Yeah.
The second half of that game, they gave up no points.
Dan Campbell called it while he was doing the pre-recorded interview. They did pick him off. I mean, they did pick up C.J. Stroud off on the second throw.
Yes.
And it's just, I mean, it was weird. I do think it was an anomaly. I don't think Goff was that bad to throw 5 interceptions.
Right. It's just one of those days.
It's one of those days.
It's sort of like a home run hitter striking out 5 times.
Right.
In a game. You'll probably never see it again.
Except for in the postseason when we know you're going to face an elite pitching.
Right.
That's different.
That's a little bit different.
And then for the Texans, something's wrong.
Something's off.
I don't know if it's the offensive line. I know that they did lose Stephon Diggs for the year, which was unfortunate because that was why he was supposed to come there, put that team on the map, along with C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
And then you lose Nico Collins, who looks like he was your main guy.
Yes.
Hopefully they do get him back this week.
Mm-hmm.
But they look off. They went from 5-2 to now they're 6-4. They've lost their last 2 primetime TV games.
And this is what I think it is, Eli. The second year for a quarterback who's had a phenomenal season,
right.
Now we have tape on you.
Right.
Now we have data on you. Now we have you know the little things you do
right.
that we couldn't pick up the first year.
Right.
And so he's going to face tougher defenses.
And sometimes he just left, like, Tank Dell was wide open. You were supposed to deliver that immediately. Some of his timing was off.
Yes, and what people don't know about the Detroit defense, no quarterback has thrown 2 touchdowns in the same game against them. And so that means they're making adjustments.
Right.
And they are, putting themselves in position. And so then when you take what's the wide receiver?
St. Brown?
No, the one who's out.
Nico Collins.
No, the other one. The one who got injured for the season.
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, who they brought in from Buffalo to space the field.
Right,
Remember we talked about spacing, and when now I don't have to worry about that side of the field, I can tighten up this side of the field.
And technically, when you look at the AFC picture, they're the only ones now that don't have their elite bringing wide receiver, because the Chiefs have Hopkins. Adams is with the Jets. The Bills have Amari Cooper, and the Texans, right when all those trades happened, they just lost Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
So now timing of it is off.
And we know that football is it's hard for anybody to stay healthy the entire season, and you hope that you could. Football is a game of attrition.
Right.
Who gets to the finish line that's healthy or on a roll during a specific run is going to be the team that kind of survives.
For sure.
So I think both teams, we got a good look at where both teams. One team is still riding up, and the other team is kind of plateaued.
Yeah, and I still think the Texans are going to win the division because it's a weak division.
Yes, it's a weak division.
They're still in that. Don't think they can improve other than the 4th spot. And the Lions are going to have to keep their eyes on Philadelphia because now they're
rolling
a game behind the Lions. I don't know if they face each other later down the line, but we'll see what happens with that. Next topic, division matchups. We have 2 key matchups. One is tonight. The Commanders at the Eagles.
Ooh, that is going to be
something good. I like the Commanders so far. I like the rookie quarterback. I like Kirby's coaching for him as a quarterback coach.
Yes.
I like Dan Quinn's coaching. He was a good coach in Atlanta, even though they messed up that game.
Yeah, and he was a good coach in Dallas if they would have gave him a shot. But that's a whole other story.
Philly looks like they're getting their thing together. Saquon Barkley is the X factor for me. That whole team.
Yes. It was, to me, the perfect fit because of the offensive line there and because of the option plays that they run with Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts can stay upright a little bit more because Barkley and he gets tough yards.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? He gets tough yards. And so I think
Hurts hasn't turned the ball over a lot.
Right.
In the last
when you're handing the ball off more than you used to, that cuts down on the turnovers. A.J. Brown is back, is he?
He is back, and so is Devontae Smith, I believe his name is, from the Alabama. And it opens up the play action plays for them.
Up that play action. I'm not too sold on their coach.
I'm not
especially
either.
In tough situations.
I've heard their defense has stepped up. I'm still skeptical about their defense. But I do think Saquon and Jalen Hurts, along with having a better offensive line than the New York Giants, obviously.
Yes, obviously. And better quarterback.
Now, this is a division week. We won't put in our picks until later, but just looking at the matchups, it's going to be interesting. You have a rookie quarterback who's on fire. They're 7-2, or they're 7-3 because they had just lost the week before. You have Philly going into Philly. That's going to be a testament because now you have to look at your team and be like, look, I know we're having a good record, but we got to start being the contenders. And the last 2 weeks, we've lost to the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are two
bona fide contenders. Absolutely.
The rest of our wins are against better. We're better than those teams.
But one thing also that I know, Eli, the NFL is going to test you.
Right.
Meaning you might be 9-0, 10-0.
Right.
But did you play good teams?
Right.
When you go up against those real good teams, that's the true testament of where you are, because it's power versus power.
Right.
And so this is the 7-3 record could be fugazi.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you're gonna have to start showing, because you lost to the Ravens, you lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. If you lose to Philadelphia, now this brings you back down to.
It makes you look like frauds and not contenders.
Not even frauds, but mid-range, because I didn't pick them to be this good.
True.
Their first year.
True. We had really the Cowboys or the Eagles.
And so they became the outlier.
Right.
And so it just means that we're good, but we're not that good.
Right.
Yeah.
The second divisional matchup we have is the important one. I mean, the second important one, but it's the Ravens at Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson versus Lamar. Lamar is 3-1 against them. As a squad, he struggles against Pittsburgh.
He does. 7 out of the last 10 games, Pittsburgh has beaten. Yes.
And Patrick Queen, who used to be on the Ravens, is now on the Steelers. So he takes that personal.
Yes.
And I like the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense has always been there, along with the Ravens defense.
Yes.
But the Ravens defense this year has given up 11 points per game in the fourth quarter.
That's good. And that's the critical time of the game when it's really about just,
all we got to do is hold down the fort.
Hold down the fort, but then attrition kicks in.
Right.
We're tired, we're fatigued.
Right.
So that could also be training and endurance.
And they have a new defense coordinator who they didn't have last year.
Didn't have. We have to factor in for that as well.
But can Lamar finally get over the hump and squeeze this one out?
This is going to be interesting. When I put my picks in, I'll go more in depth.
Yeah.
But I like these divisional matchups because I know intricate things about your team. I'm very familiar, and you're very familiar with me. Now, also keep in mind, Pittsburgh has beat them 7 out of 10, and you don't even know who the quarterbacks were in any of those games.
True.
They've beaten Lamar.
Yeah.
But they quarterback keep changing.
And side note, credit to Mike Tomlin, who went with his gut. Even though Justin Fields was 3-0 the first 3 games, the first 3 out of 4, he went with his gut and switched back over to Russell Wilson because he knew we need the deep ball involved.
Absolutely, and Justin Fields hasn't mastered that aspect.
Right.
And we need experience out there.
Right.
Somebody who's won a Super Bowl that if I put a good defense around him and I don't tell him to do nothing crazy
and make no mistakes. And they didn't allow him to take over the franchise.
Right.
When he was in Denver, he clearly had his stamp on that franchise.
But here you're a guest.
Right.
You're a 1-year guest here.
Right.
And based on how well we do, we can then talk, okay, you might be somebody we want to move forward.
And George Pickens and Russell Wilson have combined for 3 touchdowns, 115 yards.
Yes.
And 9 catches.
And now Williams is in there.
Mike Williams, who came from the Jets, he scored...
And he threw a shot at
the Jets because they won. He scored more points. Well, he scored the exact same points as the Jets did last week. Mm-hmm. And experts were saying that he was just happy to be out of
that situation. And now in a situation with Mike Tomlin, who's more of a player's coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's going to tell you, and it's not going to lie to you. That's why I love Mike. You come here, you work hard. I'm going to put you in position because they said that Pickens or the wide receiver who was in there prior, who had just got injured, I forget his name, which gave Williams a chance to be in the field, could not have made that catch. This was an over-the-head, outside, breadbasket catch, and only a few can make that kind of play.
For sure. And lastly, clap it up to the Chiefs. Thank you.
Yes.
They are 9-0. They sneezed out a win against the Broncos. I prayed to the football guys to block that kick. They absolutely did that.
Well, I'm going to get my conspiracy theory.
They did their job. Well, you go into this conspiracy before I go into the next matchup.
Listen, the field goal block. I watched that guy, and he just looked like he was not trying to block.
I saw from our angle, somebody went on all fours.
Okay.
To knock off him. So the guy next to him.
Okay.
He went on all fours, which threw off his balance, which helped us push.
You hear this? The game?
Which helped Leo get through and...
whatever.
Knock him off.
So they've won the most games, 7 games, by 1 score.
Right. They have the lowest... They're the first team to be 9-0 and have the lowest point differential in NFL history.
And so that tells me they're buying time. Now, don't get me wrong. A win is a win. Right. And you got to get them and you got to take them as they come. But I'm not sure if they're as good as we give them credit for.
To your point from earlier, if you go 9 and if you're 10-0 and whatnot, they have beaten the Ravens.
First game of the season. On a tippy toe.
Yes, but a win is a win. Okay. They did beat the Bengals.
Okay, all right.
That was the offensive passing call.
Oh, that was the off, yeah.
But it was the offensive passing call. Mm-hmm. They beat the Bucks in overtime.
Okay, overtime. Mm-hmm.
And they beat I'm missing one more other competitor game.
Did they beat the 49ers? Oh, okay.
Oh, and the 49ers, yes. The 49ers.
Yeah, okay. And again, they're such a veteran team that they are just trying to ensure that they have the best record.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, so that everything has to come through Kansas City.
Right.
Arrowhead. I believe they can do it. I believe with the addition of
Hopkins. Yes, DeAndre Hopkins.
Is going to, because we've seen a more sedated version of
the Chiefs offense.
Of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I can't just keep throwing it to Kelsey.
Right. And he's not even open that much on the field.
Right. Now, remember, this is about spacing. Just like in basketball,
right.
I need to create space so my three-point shooters can get off.
Not only that, but we lost our wide receiver for the year, Rasheed Rice. He's out.
Yes.
He didn't tear the ligament, but he's out for the season. Hollywood Brown, we won't get back into the division round.
Okay.
That late January. And Pacheco is just got up the IR.
That's going to be great because now you got a two-headed monster.
And Kareem Hunt and
Kareem Hunt and Pacheco.
Right.
And remember, that opens up play action. This is the Patrick Mahomes we're going to see over the next half of the season is the one we're accustomed to.
Right.
Because now he has weapons.
Right.
And Kelsey seems to have woken up.
Yeah.
He kind of get a little older. He's automatically thinking playoffs. But now he's starting to get open, and Hopkins is going to open up Kelsey immensely.
Yeah.
So,
I can agree. So they have the matchup against the Bills. It's in Buffalo. Now, the Bills have beaten us. They have beaten the Chiefs 3 times in the regular season. Chiefs have beaten them 3 times in the postseason.
Where it counts.
When it counts. Now, Coleman is out. These are the injury reports for the Bills. Mm-hmm. Coleman, their rookie wide receiver, he's out for the game. They might not get their tight end out. He's out for the game. And they're questionable about Amari Cooper.
Ooh,
so those 3 are out. Then it kind of means it leaves more lopsided for the Chiefs.
Even though they're on the road,
Who are coming in pretty much healthy for the game.
Yeah.
And 2... there was one more other stat, which was the last 2 games, Josh Allen has thrown 4 picks. So after he went the first 8 games without
throwing picks or maybe
the
one.
The last 2 games he's thrown 4 picks.
Oh, so he's resorting back to his normal
at the wrong time.
Got you.
And mind you, this is whether or not the Bills win or not. This is going to be a big game for the both of them because if the Bills lose, now they're 4 games back. But they win, they're only 1 game back.
And isn't that crazy?
It's going to be a crazy dynamic whether you look at it.
Got you.
We'll see. Actually, last thing, I'm going to just get to it. What's up with your man Jerry Jones with the whole stadium? Because C.D. Lamb could not see that ball.
This is what I was saying. I said this to you a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I said, why would you build a stadium that the glare when you guys play becomes a factor and the ball is, the sun is in your eyes?
And I agree with CD. Close the curtains when we have it on that side of the field.
Yes.
And then open it
on the other side of the field.
When it flip sides, because even if it's not even near the end zone, I still can't see. Because I've seen Dak look, and he's looking directly at the sun.
Absolutely. So this is something, this organization is in the tank.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, now, just pull the plug.
Yeah.
Pull the plug, and hopefully you get the number 1 pick.
Hire either Deion Sanders or Bill Belichick, because
I say Bill Belichick.
I'm hearing Deion might be interested.
If you're asking me to choose between the two, I'm going to say Belichick, but Belichick comes with you having to give him
the
general manager duties as well, because he wants to be he's a control freak.
Right.
But this is what you know. In one season, if he becomes the GM and the coach,
right,
he will restore respectability
right,
back to the Cowboys. Dion, I'm not so sure because he's doing good at a Colorado team.
But I'm hearing the only reason why he's up for a conversation is
It's because of his son.
It's because of his son, and two, he's already put that organization somewhat on the map.
Yes.
With their 7-2 record.
Yes.
And there's only one spot to me that he would even consider, and that would be the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. Let's get Malcolm to call in. And so as we begin to lay out our picks for the week.
Alrighty.
And we can kind of get to that action. And so, yes, but Dion is a hired gun.
Right.
They're doing an excellent job recruiting in
Colorado,
for next year, and I don't think he's going to be there.
Yeah.
They got a 5-star quarterback and some other pieces.
And Warren Sapp is going to go with their defensive line.
Say it again?
Warren Sapp.
Yes, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So we're giving him a lot of credit.
Right.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Lastly, one thing, speaking of Dion, real quick. What do you think about his comment saying that he might step in if Shador or Travis does not fit that team scheme on the draft night?
It's only so much he can do. But he can
flex.
He can flex as much as he can.
And pull an Eli Manning.
He can.
I think the Travis one, for sure, Shador. I think he's trying to get Shador to go to Vegas.
Gotcha.
And team up with Tom Brady as your part-time owner.
Yes.
I think Shador, he's just trying to guarantee, look, only draft Shador, Travis, if you're going to use him on both sides.
Got you.
So, All right, we are bringing in Malcolm for our Week 11 picks. As you guys know, we are in the pool for these picks and whatnot. I am obviously leading.
Well, let me give the scores since I have them. Since Eli has taken the lead in this situation.
Bitter in this group that we talk about, man. This pool.
Eli has got 96 wins.
Yes, sir.
Malcolm has 94.
Mm-hmm.
Dad has 92, and Fredy is coming up the rear paws with 85 wins. What's up, Malcolm?
What is good? Listen, I'm here to take the lead back. I got lazy a little bit, and that's how Eli was able to sneak up on me. But I'm back.
And it's the halfway mark, so this is when I'm gonna make my move too, Malcolm. I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen, because I have some controversial takes.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is gonna be the week.
All right,
so let's get to it, Malcolm. Let us get your picks.
All right, so Commanders at Eagles. I got the Eagles. I don't think the Commanders are there yet. Eagles have been playing very well. Raiders at Dolphins. I got the Raiders on the road. Dolphins suck. Browns at Saints. I got the Saints at home. Colts at Jets. This is going to be a bad one. I think I'm going to get the Jets, though. I think they pull it through. Okay? Vikings at Titans. I'm going to go Vikings on the road. Packers at Bears. I'm going to go Packers on the road. Bears are not that good. Jags at Lions. I got Lions. Rams at Patriots. I got the Rams. Ravens at Steelers. Ooh, this is going to be a good one.
That's going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one. I think I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm going Steelers. Going Steelers at home. Steelers at home, okay? All right, Seahawks at Niners. I'm going to go Niners at home. Falcons at Broncos. I'm going to go Broncos. They're not bad. Chiefs at Bills. I'm going Bills. The Chiefs are not that good, okay? They're getting lucky.
All right, whatever.
Week in and week out.
They're not
and I think this is it.
All right.
Listen, all right? Bengals at Chargers. I'm going Bengals. And Texans at Cowboys. I'm going to go Texans. Those are my picks.
Those are Malcolm's picks.
All right.
Did he do Jaguars and Lions?
Yeah, who did you pick?
Yeah, Lions.
Okay, he's going with the Lions.
And Packers and Bears?
He's going with the Packers.
Packers.
Got it.
All righty.
All right, Malcolm, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
And we'll see if this is the week that it pops off for you. Peace.
It will be. Peace.
All right. Week 11 picks. Let's get it. Commanders at the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles. Dad?
You're going to take the Eagles. Why?
I'm going to take the Eagles. I think they're at home. I think Justin Fields and Saquon Barkley overwhelmed the rookie in terms of his performance. I do think the defense will kind of...
Did you say Justin Fields?
Jalen Daniels. My bad.
Right. Jalen Brunson? Jalen Hurts.
No, Jaden Daniels. They're going to overwhelm him, and I said Jalen Hurts.
Okay, gotcha.
My bad. I was saying Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are going to overwhelm Jaden Daniels as a rookie. I do think both of the defenses will go at each other, but I probably like the Eagles defense a little bit more.
No, I agree. I think I'm going to take Philadelphia in this one as well. I just think the experience, them being at home, and them being able to add some separation to them and the Commanders so that it becomes clear who's going to win this division.
Yeah.
Obviously, it won't become clear,
right?
Because it's a lot more football left to play.
And both of them probably unlock in a playoff spot.
Right.
Regardless.
But I'm going to take Philadelphia in that one as well.
Okay. We have the Packers at the Bears. I'm going to take the Packers. I think the Bears, off of that mess up, like you said, off of a couple weeks ago when they lost to the Commanders off that Hail Mary, they haven't recovered. And clearly off of the bye, Caleb has declined in his game.
Yeah, they're saying he's a rookie.
Right.
But they're saying he's not making the necessary adjustments and reads that he has to make. And so I think the offensive coordinator, they always bring these quarterbacks in, Trubisky, Justin Fields, and now him, and they destroy these quarterbacks. It's a bad organization. They're not as bad as the Cowboys, but they're bad.
But they're bad, yeah.
I'm going to take Green Bay in that game as well.
All right. Jaguars at the Lions. I'm going to say the Lions. Trevor Lawrence is not playing. He hasn't been playing the last 2 weeks. They look like they're trying to tank and get a top draft pick. To me, that would be a lopsided, matchup.
Yep. I, too, will take Detroit, who's coming off of a weird win.
Right.
And I think this will put them in position to kind of,
It makes it closer for the number one spot in the NFC. With
absolutely.
The Eagles, if the Eagles handle their bits and the Lions.
So I'm going to take Detroit in that one as well.
We have the Raiders at the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I like their win against the Rams last week. That was a big win.
Big win.
And I think this might be the turning for them to fight for the number 7 spot. I know they're only maybe 2 games out of that position. And they have a pretty easy schedule starting with the Raiders coming up.
Right. I will take... Give me the Dolphins. It's gonna... I think anytime these West Coast teams have to travel across, and they're used to playing in heat because they're the Vegas team now, so I don't think the heat will be a biggest factor in Miami at this time of the year. I'm gonna take Miami. I'm gonna take Miami in that one.
Rams at the Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think their loss last week was huge. But I do think they are better than the Patriots. Patriots are 3-7. They got a big one against the Bears last week. But I do think as a team, they're just better than the Patriots.
I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. They're at home. I think their defense has been decent.
How do you, from what you've seen, how do you like Drake May?
I like him. I like him a lot. He's more mid-tier in terms of a quarterback, but I think it's going to give them something to build on. They're a well-organized team. They're sitting there with the Jets. They haven't been technically eliminated yet.
Right.
And so I think this win is going to keep their hope alive. So I'm going to take the Patriots in that one.
Okay, Browns at the Saints. Give me... Now, the Saints came off a big divisional win last week against the Falcons. That was kind of close. I was surprised by the Falcons to let that fall. I'm gonna go with the Browns. I don't think the Saints are that, for real. And it might have just been like a fluke win. So I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I'm going to take the Saints at home because the quarterback situation for
The Browns
is a little. I like their backup quarterback. He's pretty good.
Jameis Winston.
I like their backup quarterback, but I think New Orleans is going to, because they started out the season well, then they flip-flopped a little bit. I think they maybe have a hold on that. So I'm going to take the Saints at home against the Browns.
All right. I'm going to take... Sorry. Next matchup, Ravens at the Steelers. Who you got?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
You're going to take Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh in that one. I think they're at home. It's a divisional game.
Matchup.
It's tough. They're rivalries. I just think with the defensive problems that the Ravens have been having, I think Tomlin and his squad will exploit that.
Yeah.
And I think they're on like a roll.
All right. I would go with the Steelers, but since I know where you two stand and I need to separate, I'm going to take a dice roll and go with the Ravens.
Okay. All right. That's your outlier. Okay.
That's going to be my outlier. I have two more outliers, but I'm going to switch my pick to the Ravens. I do think it's, once again, divisional. Clearly agree with you. The Steelers' defense is better. I don't know, though, if the Steelers' defense can sustain the Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry duo.
That is going to be the new factor in that rivalry.
And to Baltimore's credit, they have been down about 2 touchdowns in 2 games, and they have overcome those deficits. So I'm going to go.
A very close game. It might come down to a field goal.
Excellent.
Who has the ball last?
Who has the ball last? Vikings at the Titans. To me, the Vikings will win this game. They're fighting for something. They've been a little shaky the last 2 weeks. Because now your theory on Sam Darnold has come true. Mm-hmm. Not that good. Good enough with the system around him, but not that good as a quarterback. But it's the Titans. They should win it and move to 8-3.
What's the Titans' record?
2-7.
Oh, yeah. Give me the Vikings. I'm not even going to play with that. I'm not going to play with that.
Colts at the Jets. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to be honest with you. I've given up on the Jets. To me, they got them getting the way that they handled that last week's loss, only getting 2 field goals and no touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. His time might have passed him by. With that Achilles tear, which is what I suspected last year.
You did say that. You did.
And just the attitude. That's a toxic environment.
That is a very toxic environment, but it is New York City and the Jets. And I'm not sure the Colts, who like to play indoors where the weather is
Anthony
nice.
Richardson's going to be the starter from the remainder of the season. They had to bench Joe Flacco.
And so they had to bench Joe Flacco?
Yeah, they're going back to Anthony
But Anthony Richardson walked off in the third down play and all of that?
From what I've heard, they will start Anthony Richardson for the rest of the season.
Well, give me the Jets. Give me the Jets in that one and a close one. How about that?
All righty. Falcons, Broncos, who you taking?
Falcons, Broncos. I'm going to take the Broncos at home. Their defense, even in their losses, they showed me a little something.
They showed
and that mile high city with that air, I'll take the Broncos in that one.
Okay, I think the Falcons need to bounce back from last week's loss. I will take the Falcons. To me, they should have beaten the Saints.
Yes.
To really secure the divisional spot. I think they'll bounce back. I think Kirk Cousins will outplay the rookie quarterback. As much as I like Bo Nix, it is a rookie quarterback. I do like Sean Payton in that defense.
Yes.
But I do think Kirk Cousins will perform better with Kyle Pitts in them and win that game. Seattle at the 49ers. I'm not even going to play around with this. It's the 49ers. The 49ers have owned the Seahawks the last 10 matchups.
Yep.
It's at San Francisco, and now they have Christian McCaffrey back.
Right. Because they have McCaffrey back.
I don't like their energy, though, as a team. Talking about the 49ers.
But I think McCaffrey can infuse
that. But I'm talking about like this.
But the fighting on the sideline, yes, very bad.
And this is coming from I've come to 2 5 NFC Championship rounds
Yes.
and 2 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah, you should conduct yourself better.
And now the wheels are starting to fall off.
Yes, so I'm going to say the 49ers in a close one.
Right.
In a close
In
one.
a close one. Chiefs, Bills. I'm assuming you're going to take the Bills.
In this one, no, I think I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay, I'm surprised.
Well, once I got the injury report on the Bills,
Right, and I'm glad you didn't tell Malcolm.
yeah, I got the injury report on that.
forgot about
I
that.
think I'll take Kansas City in that one.
All right, I will too, Mom. You already know I'm going with the Chiefs. They'll move to 10-0, and get that would pretty much lock up the number 1 seed for them.
Yes.
Bengals at the Chargers. I'm going to go the opposite way of Malcolm and go with the Chargers. The Bengals defense is atrocious. You've blown now against the Ravens twice and against the Eagles 2 big leads. That just should not have happened if my quarterback is throwing for 9 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
And only like 1 interception. And Jamar Chase deserves his money. Y'all blowing that opportunity now to now pay him. Now he's going to walk, I'm assuming, in the field. And now you lose T. Higgs because he's admitted that he's going to leave
Yes.
once his franchise tag is up.
Yep. And I too will take the Chargers.
I
in
like
that
what
game.
Jim Harbaugh is doing.
Yes, in one season, man, he's really kind of moved this thing around, and so I too will take the Chargers in that one.
And then lastly, Texans at the Cowboys. I do think finally the Texans will win a primetime game. This is their 3rd primetime game in a row. They'll beat the Cowboys.
I will take the Texans as well. I think the Cowboys are in shambles, and they need to just get ahead and have no more wins for the rest of the season. To put yourself in a greater position for next season.
Because if they keep this up, they could possibly get a top 3 pick to where Dion sends Shador to the Dallas Cowboys over the Las Vegas Raiders.
Absolutely.
Those are our picks for Week 11.
Those are our picks. Week 11.
We'll keep you updated on the scores and whatnot.
Yep.
Alrighty. On to basketball. I don't know. This might have been last week. It was a Golden State Warriors OKC game. Warriors won that, but Chet Holmgren,
yeah.
left in the first quarter from I believe a hamstring injury. Mm-hmm. It might have been a little bit more than a hamstring injury, but he's now going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. How does that impact the OKC Thunder?
It does, because remember, they still haven't played with the guy they got from Chicago.
Oh, Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso has been out.
Oh, okay.
And so when you couple those two, those were the 2 pieces that defensively we figured was going to hold OKC down. So I do expect them to have some slippage.
Right.
In terms of their record, they're 9-2 right now, or 9-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I do expect some slippage there, and I'm not sure how long Holmgren will be out.
Right.
But it will affect them.
Yeah. Right. I agree. I do think they'll hold the fort down. Mm-hmm. But there will be, like, against the Clippers, who they almost lost to.
Yes.
Those tough Western Conference teams.
And they don't have Hawkinstein.
Okay.
That they got from the Knicks.
Yes.
Remember,
yes,
he's out. And so those 3 and that again.
That makes you your big and your defensive presence.
That's your defensive presence. So once they get everybody back, they are going to be a problem.
Yeah, in the West for sure.
Yes.
They'll be the 2013 OKC Thunder with the young core. Yes. Warriors Mavericks. We had a matchup welcoming Clay back to the dub.
Let me clap up Golden State for the way they rolled out the red carpet
for Klay Thompson
and all of his contributions. It was well deserved. The script couldn't have went any better than it would. Yep. We welcome you, we honor you, we respect you, and then we beat you.
And then there was a little bit of turmoil, of just a little bit, between Steph and Clay.
Yes.
Because Draymond had checked in with Steph before the game and said, look, we understand that Clay's coming back, that's our boy, but we need you to lock in.
Yes.
Because this is not just a Clay, this is the Mavericks.
Right.
They're the defending Western Conference champs.
Absolutely.
We need to send a message that, you know.
Absolutely.
And so Steph had decided at the last minute not to come out before the game
Because he was going to speak.
because he was going to speak after they
Yes.
gave the tribute. He decided not to do that and he wanted to check in with Clay. Clay ghosted him.
That's what I heard.
And that's what fueled the little ending at the game-winning shot.
Everything makes sense.
Tense. I think it worked out for both teams because Golden State got Buddy Hield,
Yes.
who was their Clay, who's right now their Clay replacement, who's shooting 55 from the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Clay helps out with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. It gives them another option.
And it creates spacing.
Spacing, right.
Because I don't care how bad he's shooting, you got to go out there because
Right.
he can flip like this and hit
Six threes,
He
right.
hit 6 threes
Threes,
against
yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
And so that was very important.
Now Jason Kidd is going to have a hard sit down with him eventually about the shot selection. Because he shot 17 shots.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
made 7, but he's taking, meaning he might be, you gotta sit him down, I mean, because you know at the end of the day it's his injuries with the Achilles tear and the ACL tear. I can't have you taking that many shots.
Well, I had no problem. 7 for 17 is about 42%.
40%, yeah.
You want to shoot 50% from the field if you can.
Right.
And so he's a shooter.
Yeah,
And
and
if he
shooters are
gets
gonna
clean
shoot,
looks, Kyrie Irving is going to create. My problem is with Luka. It's always with Luka.
Okay.
He hawks the ball.
Ball too much.
He's a ball
always,
stopper.
He's always out of shape because
He's always out of shape.
Yeah.
His defense is in question. And so his natural ability sometimes overcompensates
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
But against a tough, smart team like Golden State, they're going to expose you.
Yeah.
And he took a few shots in that game that were questionable.
questionable, right? Side note, speaking of defense, credit to Steve Kerr on getting Stackhouse.
Jerry Stackhouse?
Jerry Stackhouse, I believe his name is, to be our defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. All
That
right.
helped us out because apparently that's why our defense has been so.
I like
tight knit.
Stackhouse.
And Draymond Green seems to respect him as a defensive leader.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have Draymond's respect, now y'all all have to buy in.
Yes,
Into
absolutely.
the defense aspect. But yeah, it worked out for both teams.
I thought that was a very good game.
Very good game. We want to send our prayers to the Popovich family.
Yes.
We heard news that on November 2nd he suffered a minor stroke
Yeah, Greg Popovich, probably the greatest coach
in the NBA.
in NBA history. He's a player's coach. Players respect him. Teams respect him. 5-time champion.
Yep.
And so, he's
About-
getting up older in age.
20 or 18 years, 60 wins or more.
Yes. He's getting a little older in
In
age. And so he had a mild stroke.
Yeah.
So he's home recovering.
Yes.
And so I want to definitely send out, some
They have
well
no
wishes.
timeline on his return, but we'll keep you guys updated on when that will happen. And lastly, should the Bucks move off of Dame Dollar or Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I say they should move off both of them.
I do
And here's
too.
my reasoning. Moving off one of them and getting a few pieces back is not going to do it for you.
Right.
That team is poorly coached. I'm sorry.
with Doc Rivers, yes.
That team, they blame them for the Drew Holiday situation, but remember, they didn't send him to Boston.
They sent him
They
to
sent
Portland.
him to Portland thinking they got rid of him,
Right.
and then it came back, it backfired
Right,
because
he went right
wound
to
up
Boston.
in Boston. But Middleton can't stay healthy.
Right, as you were telling me.
Lopez is old,
yeah,
and it's just the pieces, Dame and Giannis, they just don't
and we
blend.
said it 3 years ago. Credit to their defensive win. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong, but after that, we all said that was an anomaly.
Yes.
Because remember, there was 15 All-Stars hurt during the playoffs.
Yes.
From coming back after just having 2 months off. I mean, only having a month off. Mm-hmm. And that championship run was a lightning in the bottle.
Yes, it was. And they got it, and it makes Giannis a champion.
Right.
But that's not going to be sustainable.
The next year, they should have got locked up the number 2 seed at least.
And they didn't.
They gambled.
They lost.
They gambled against the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Let the Boston Celtics take the number 2 seed.
Yes.
And that game 7 cost them.
Cost them. Sure enough,
Because it
did.
should have been in Milwaukee instead of Boston.
You are absolutely correct. And so I say get rid of both of them and just hit the rebuild.
So where would you send Dame and where would you send Giannis? Because
Well-
I'm gonna be honest with you, the both two teams I can see them both going to that works out for the both of us. Dame to the Lakers and Giannis to the Warriors.
Yeah, well, I would love that. I would love that in every aspect of.
And then we'll just see y'all down the road.
Absolutely. Now, Dame's stock has dropped to me after leaving Portland. In Portland, the show ran around him.
Right. It doesn't run around him.
It doesn't revolve around him, and I'm not sure he has adjusted well to that.
Right.
And I'm not sure he likes living in Milwaukee.
Right.
Remember, he didn't want to go there.
Right.
And so Giannis is going to be a game changer. Whoever has the assets to get Giannis, they put themselves in position
Right.
to go to the finals.
For sure. For sure. Because I forgot Dame did want to go to Miami.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Miami.
To me, that would have worked better.
Yes,
It's a great city.
absolutely.
And Eric Spoelstra knows how to make that work.
Absolutely. And they would have put him in a better position to win. If the Lakers can get their hands on Dame, I would take it because he is a sniper.
Yeah. And
And
LeBron knows this.
LeBron will make sure he get his shots. And Anthony Davis is playing on an MVP level.
And JJ does not like D'Angelo.
No, he doesn't. No, he can't stand him, and he's ready to package him. He might have to come off of
The bench?
no, what's his name? Reeves.
Oh, Reeves.
You might have to come off Hachimura, Reeves, and D'Lo
Yeah.
to bring in Dame. But then you have Dame, LeBron,
AD.
Anthony Davis, and then you can fill it in
Right.
with decent role players,
right.
and hope that's enough to get it done.
Because I know, well, one, I know we're not, if we was to get Giannis, we're not giving up Buddy Hill. We're keeping him.
Okay.
He's untouchable. They're not, but they would have to move some of those bench pieces, like Jonathan Kuminga, Moody, and one of the other.
They'd have to offer them that. But if you now have
Draymond,
Steph, and Giannis,
and then Looney as your backup, and then you have Buddy Hill coming off your bench giving you 20.
well, Buddy Hill might be thrusted into the starting lineup as the shooting guard.
Right.
But still, look at the spacing
right.
and look at the space that Giannis would have to operate.
Right.
Dude, that would make them a
And
championship
that would even,
caliber team.
that would even make it small against the West Big.
Yeah, that would be a championship caliber team.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
We'll definitely see.
Yep.
All right, culture. Want to send our condolences to the Tony Todd's family. He passed away last week at the age of 69. My parents know him more for Candyman.
Candyman.
I known him for other comic book shows like The Flash. He was in Spider-Man 2 as a voiceover character and a few other things. Legendary actor.
Legendary. So condolences to him. His work will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. In other news, Megan Fox is pregnant. With
Clap
her
that up.
third child.
All right. Gotta build a family.
She is still together with Machine Gun Kelly. He's a rapper.
Okay.
They've been together for a minute now. You know, we all know her from Transformers and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to that. Grammy nominations.
Grammy nominations.
Over the weekend.
Who are the nominations?
The nominations that stick out is Kendrick Lamar has 7 nominations.
Ooh, that's a lot of nominations.
I believe it's 2 for Like That, and then a few of them are for Not Like Us.
Okay.
A lot of people think that this is controversial, but you gotta remember this is one of the biggest songs of the summer.
Yeah, biggest songs in a long time.
Future is nominated for We Don't Trust You, his collaboration albums with Metro, because they dropped 3 in the same year.
Okay.
And they all kind of went top 5 or top 3. A few female artists that I know, Sabrina Carpenter and Billie Eilish, are nominated for 4.
Yeah, Billie Eilish. Isn't she nominated for the album of the year or song of the year?
Yes, both. She's nominated for the song and album of the year. She has 7 nominations. Sabrina Carpenter, who's another pop star, she's nominated for 5. Other artists, I did not hear Drake. I think Tyler's nominated for a few.
Yeah, he has a cult following.
Yeah, he has a very good.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, his new album was pretty decent. I heard it.
Okay, did you like it?
I did like it.
I can't get into him.
I know, but
I like the video I saw.
I did like it. I liked a few songs off of that. And I'm missing a few. I think Beyonce got nominated for her country album.
Yeah, she sure did. Clap that up.
Clap that up
Beyonce nominated for a country album.
For her country album. And then Taylor Swift is, of course. She's in
And
that
of course, Taylor Swift.
So I'm excited about those.
Yes. When is the Grammys? Do you know?
Grammys is the week before the Super Bowl, so that's the first Sunday of
February. Okay.
Which will be, I believe, February 2nd or February 3rd.
All right.
They had to move that because that was very controversial. Remember when The Weeknd did the halftime show?
Right.
He got nominated. I mean, he had 0 nominations for his album.
Yes.
And that was basically because they spited him because he decided to choose
the Super Bowl.
Over the Grammys.
Yes.
So now that the NFL moved it a week down,
everybody should be happy.
Right. And lastly, Denzel Washington has announced over the weekend that he has about maybe 4 or 5 projects lined up. One of them is Gladiator 2. He has a confirmed to be in Black Panther with Ryan Coogler.
That's gonna be awesome.
And a few other films. Equalizer wasn't on that list because I think they sold that up already.
Yeah.
With the third one. And then after this, he will retire.
Okay for Denzel. I heard
like
some other stuff about him too, but save that for another show.
Save that for the other show.
Yeah, save that for another show. But yes, he has earned the right. An Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
His whole, catalog is going to be one that is memorable.
How long has he been acting for? Like maybe 40?
I'm not sure. Cry Freedom came out in the 80s. About 40 years.
Yeah.
About 40 years. Yeah. About 40 years or
Yeah,
so.
man. So congratulations. I'm excited to see him in future films and whatnot. And that is it, guys. Like us on YouTube. Hit the bell notification. This is Disabled Podcast. I'm your host, Eli. Co-host Dad.
Co-host Dad in the place. Shout out Fredy.
Shout out Fredy. Where we talk about music, sports, and culture. Hit the bell notification when we upload. And we'll see you guys next week.
Please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands